All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Wes here, and today we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to go over some new updates, as well as some news that you guys do not want to miss out before the game releases in a couple of months. Now, with Hogwarts Legacy being right around the corner, the marketing for this game is about to be ramped up entirely, and with that, that means a lot of news and information that's going to be released. But I wanted to make sure I made this video for those of you that are looking forward to the game. They really haven't had time to keep up with everything. And with the game being 2 months away, we're also going to go over a potential gameplay showcase 3 that I think could happen, as well as when we could expect the launch trailer for the game. So definitely stick around until the end of the video for those details. So if you haven't guessed by now, Hogwarts Legacy is easily one of my most anticipated games for 2023. I'm a huge fan of the universe, and I've been waiting for a full-fledged RPG for a long time. Every time we get more information, the game looks even better. Now, sure, there's been a decent number of controversies surrounding Hogwarts Legacy, but ultimately, I think everyone benefits from it being really good. And after the second gameplay showcase, I'm more confident in Hogwarts Legacy than ever. And in case you missed it, Hogwarts Legacy is expected to launch in February on the 10th for PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles by the Xbox One and PS4, and the Switch versions are going to drop later in the year. So if you guys were expecting to buy this game on Switch and have it day one, that's not going to be the case, so definitely keep that in mind. But one thing that I don't think many people are talking about right now is just how huge this game is and how long-lasting a success story it could be. With the right care and post-launch support, Hogwarts Legacy could easily be a 5 to 10 year game like Skyrim or The Witcher 3, and honestly, if it wasn't for my personal most anticipated game for next year, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom releasing, I think it has a shot at being game of the year. Hogwarts Legacy has been in the oven for a long time, and while it's obviously not going to be perfect, I think the amount of love and care going into it really shows, and despite 2023 being as stacked as it is, I still think Hogwarts Legacy could stand among the rest and be one of the biggest games of the year. While many gamers are usually hardwired to write off any major licensed video game, there have been some really good ones in recent years. Titles like Alien Isolation and Shadow of Mordor prove that the right team with a ton of passion could turn a movie into an incredible video game despite the bad reputation that licensed games tend to get. Granted, there has also been some total stink bombs of licensed game recently like Marvel's Avengers, but the point I'm getting at is that if a licensed game is done well and really handled with care and passion, it could easily turn into a runaway success thanks to the brand recognition. I guess you could say it's equally possible for a licensed game to snowball in the opposite direction, because if a licensed game comes out and it doesn't live up to expectations, or maybe it's just a mediocre experience, word of mouth is going to spread incredibly quick. But on the flip side, if a licensed game is done well, that name recognition is going to shoot it to the top of the charts week after week. Judging by the early gameplay footage and the extremely positive reception this game has gotten on places like Reddit so far, I think it's got all of the makings of a long-term success story, which is something WB Games desperately needs right now. Hogwarts Legacy is an absolutely massive game. While the exact size of the game world isn't clear just yet, the gameplay showcases have shown off a ton of areas that seem to go on forever, and that's not even counting all of the internal areas of Hogwarts and all of the different buildings you'll be able to walk around and explore. Reddit user Tachyon V, a Ravenclaw, took everything we'd seen so far of the game and made a makeshift game map for people to get a better idea of the worlds we're going to be inhabiting, and it honestly looks pretty amazing. The second gameplay showcase really reminded me of Skyrim in a sense that you could just choose a direction on your compass and start walking or flying, and eventually you'd find something to do. Hogwarts Castle itself is also freaking huge, and so far a number of iconic locations have been confirmed to be returning. This is the first time we've seen a full recreation of Hogwarts with a AAA developer outside of like Minecraft mods, and the fact that we get to freely roam around it is probably never going to get old. According to earlygame.com, Hogwarts Legacy currently has 19 major points of interest, and the list is still growing. These points of interest include the Great Hall, the library, including the restricted section, the potions classroom, the charms classroom, the defense against the dark arts classroom, the herbology classroom, common rooms for all 4 of the houses, a number of bathrooms, the room of requirement, which will serve as our personal hub throughout the experience, the owlry, the courtyard, the headmaster's office, and so many more. Avalanche did their best to recreate every major location that's been referenced in the movies and books, while also fleshing out everything in between and added a ton of new secrets for you to discover. Hogwarts itself is going to feel like a true wizarding academy in every sense of the word, and the work has truly paid off. In addition to Hogwarts, places like Hogsmeade Village, Gringotts, and most likely Diagon Alley, Hogsmeade Station are confirmed to be major locations with their own points of interest within them, although likely not quite as elaborate or densely packed as Hogwarts proper. But don't be too overwhelmed by the map size, because in addition to walking and flying, you will also have fast travel via Floo Flame, which will reduce the amount of downtime between objectives. Every part of this world world is going to be completely alive, filled with NPCs and side missions that you can use to learn new spells, acquire items, tame magical creatures, and meet new characters. This is one of the most elaborate AAA RPGs that I've personally seen in a long time. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only person that's going to get absolutely lost in this world once I get my hands on it on February 10th, or even earlier with the early access period. Another thing that's really going to keep people coming back to Hogwarts Legacy is just how alive this world is going to be. Avalanche Software have put their blood, sweat, and tears into making sure Hogwarts Legacy is a living, breathing open world that changes with the seasons. Just like the real world you live in, Hogwarts Legacy will have 4 full seasons on rotation as you play through the game. You literally get to see the world change around you. Anyone who grew up watching Harry Potter movies will agree that one of the most magical things about them was seeing the different environments in the various seasons. There was just something very special about seeing the Hogwarts castle in the snow, or when the leaves were changing and falling. And Avalanche Software have put a ton of effort into capturing that for everybody's unique experience within the world. Different fantastic beasts and NPCs will be out at different times of the year and behave differently depending on the weather and environment. The fact that the world is constantly changing with time will lend itself well to multiple playthroughs and characters, which I think is actually going to be a major piece of the replay value. It's been heavily implied that certain parts of the Hogwarts castle are going to be restricted to members of certain houses, just like in the source material, which is going to obviously encourage people to make new characters and play through the game again. When you're constantly making new characters and doing things differently, it'll make it much more natural to see the entire world in the different seasons, since you'll be wandering around, adventuring over and over again. There will also be a number of possible endings for the main story that are dependent on your choices throughout the main and side missions. Choices truly matter in Hogwarts Legacy, so it's not about what house you choose or how well you performed in class. You're gonna be able to make an impact on this world, and the choices you make throughout the experience will come back to face you down in the end. It's also believed that certain houses will have access to exclusive quests, or perhaps have special abilities to make quests easier. Obviously, the house you choose isn't going to be a cosmetic thing, but until we get our hands on the full game, it's impossible to know how much of an impact that choice is going to have. But hey, if that gives me more reason to play the game again, I am personally fine with that. Next up, let's talk about when the potential gameplay showcase 3 is going to happen. Obviously, we don't know if they're going to be doing a third gameplay showcase. The game is 2 months away, so everything all kind of points to another showcase, especially with all of the marketing that's going to be ramping up pretty soon. Whether or not it's going to happen sometime this week or even sometime next month, it's hard saying. But what I will say is that next month, we can almost guarantee that the launch trailer will happen, especially since the game releases early February. It only makes sense for January to be a big month for Hogwarts Legacy, and I cannot wait to cover all of the news whenever it happens. Now, one thing that I'd like to talk about now is potential post-launch support in the form of different updates and DLC. Now, we can expect to have DLC for the game, as well as I'm hoping post-launch updates in the form of possible new creatures added to the game that we can go out in the world and try to tame them, which would be an awesome way to keep the game going on. I'm kind of thinking of like Animal Crossing with different seasons that are happening. We get new creatures and different stuff that we can put in our vivarium, which I think is all very possible, and I really hope they do. But the part that I want to talk about the most is how much modding is going to be done in Hogwarts Legacy. There's a lot to talk about how much could be done in the modding scene on PC. With a game this massive, the modding community is going to have a field day, and I don't think the developers or the publisher are going to try to stop that at all. I've already heard people talking about adding new spells and beasts to the game via modding support, but I also think it may go even further than that. We know that Quidditch isn't going to be included in Hogwarts Legacy, at least not at launch, but honestly, I give it about a week until the modding community has remedied that. With the amount of crazy assets and detailed worlds within this game, and how passionate the community is, I wouldn't be surprised if the people started building their own castles or making their own layouts to Hogwarts campus. It's also only a matter of time before we get full overhaul mods that start coming out, so you could play as the movie characters or as people's original fan fiction characters. Just about everything wrong with Hogwarts Legacy can be fixed with mods as well, similar to how games like Skyrim and Fallout 4 have continued throughout the years on Steam. Not only that, but think about the multiplayer capabilities of Hogwarts Legacy that are going to be done through mods. I'm sure that Hogwarts Legacy is going to release, and we're going to see someone put up a bounty to try to get multiplayer working in the game, for multiplayer dueling, to Quidditch with your friends, to even hide and go seek throughout Hogwarts Castle. The only thing I can see going wrong with Hogwarts Legacy is the technical side. The last few years have been incredibly rough for just about every AAA game to come out, and I'm really hoping all of this extra time in the oven will prevent it from happening to Hogwarts Legacy. Performance seems to be decent enough, and the PC recommended specs are perfectly reasonable, but until we get completely uninfluenced playthrough of the game, we can't trust the performance. Remember Cyberpunk 2077? I think there's like a 20 or 30% chance that this game comes out with some major bugs, but I guess games like Skyrim and The Witcher 3 have proven that having some bugs at launch won't really kill your game if the gameplay and the world are good. But the gaming community is so fed up with the technical issues nowadays that a bad launch would not be a good situation. Again, with all of the extra time in the oven with Hogwarts Legacy, the multiple delays, I'm confident that it will be one of the more stable launches in recent AAA memory, and all of the gameplay showcases seem to be working as intended. I'm a little worried about how the game is going to run on the PS4 and Xbox One, but on the PC and current generation consoles, I imagine it will be running well enough. Now I know second-to-second performance isn't everything, but the developers have been pretty eager to show off the game running for long stretches of time, and that's a pretty good sign, especially when compared to how secretive other studios have been about their own bug-filled open world games. All in all, I think Hogwarts Legacy genuinely has the makings of a Game of the Year contender. With all of the recent controversies surrounding the franchise creator and the countless delays, I can understand why people are skeptical of this game, but for fans of the series and complete newcomers, I honestly think this could be one of the best RPGs in years. It's massive, it's deep, it's incredibly replayable, and it's treating a beloved universe with care. It's crazy what can happen when you take a world-known IP and actually treat it with some love and care it deserves. I'm really hoping Hogwarts Legacy is a sign of things to come from the gaming industry, because I know I'm not the only one who's fed up with the mediocre licensed games and buggy open world adventures. This may just be my hype talking, but I'm really excited to play this thing, and I won't be surprised if it ends up being in the running for Game of the Year 2023. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Are you excited for Hogwarts Legacy? Do you think we're gonna get the gameplay showcase number 3 next month? And when do you think the launch trailer is gonna happen? And furthermore, do you plan on picking up Hogwarts Legacy? Let me know down below. Like the video, don't forget to subscribe with your notifications on, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.